We're only a couple of days into the new season of FragPunk, but there is so much more just around the corner, like a new Lancer. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and just a few days ago we got the brand new Lancer, Hurricane, and he was added to the game with a new map, new cards, and a bunch of other new stuff. And while everyone is still learning how to play him and best utilize his abilities, there is another brand new Lancer that's already ready to go and is planned to release on July 24th. Who is that Lancer exactly? Well, her name is Aura, and she's going to be a healer of sorts, but not necessarily in the way you think. I'm going to show you all of her abilities in action, and while she doesn't exactly have a passive ability, she kinda does. But before I get into that, I want to give a huge thanks to FragPunk for giving me early access to play around with this new Lancer, and also make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because you won't want to miss anything upcoming. So if you've played Overwatch, you've probably heard the term Pocket Mercy. Well, Pocket Aura is about to take things to a whole new level. So let's start by reading about Aura's abilities, and then we'll dive into a custom match and put them to the test and show you just how they work. So her first ability is called Soul Beacon, and it basically lets you quote unquote hide or take over another ally, allowing you to support them in a few different ways. While you're inside an ally, you don't leave a physical body of yourself behind anywhere, so it's not like somebody could just come up and kill you, and all of your abilities can be deployed while you're in this state, taking over your ally. With this ability, you do get infinite uses with a short cooldown, and you can actually jump from one ally to the next. This is something that's best shown in action rather than read over, because when I first read this, I had a ton of questions, but we'll get to that in just a second. Her next ability is called Soul Guardian, and this ability has two uses, and it'll increase your max HP by 15, and yes, it does stack, and yes, this adds that health to your possessed teammate. And then last but not least, her third and final ability is called Harmonic Tide, which releases a sound wave in front of her that exposes and slows down enemies it touches while increasing ally movement. There are tons of uses for all of these abilities, so let's go ahead and jump into that custom match and take a look at them in action. So right off the bat, you cannot jump inside an ally during the prep phase, but once that round starts, you're free to ride the horse. The range of activation isn't very far, so you need to be within a pretty close range of your teammate so you can activate it. But once you're inside your teammate, you'll have two abilities that you can do alongside of your other abilities. The two options you'll see on screen are Explosion and Healing. Explosion will let you fire a single shot that can break traps, shards, etc. Plus, if it hits an enemy, it will do 30 damage. And Heal, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. You can heal your teammate while inside of them. This has seemingly infinite use, but it does have a bit of a cooldown, which is about 5 seconds to start charging back up once you've used it all, and it takes about 20 seconds to fully charge up again. As I mentioned before, you can just jump from ally to ally using this ability, and if you want to exit that person altogether, you just hold the skill button down. And just for fun, I went and tried to jump into an enemy with this ability, and no, you cannot take over an enemy, but it was worth a shot. Now, if you are inside an ally and that ally gets killed, you will just pop out on the spot they died and be ready to fight, because if you're not, you're probably going to die too. Immediately, I'm thinking you can use this as a Trojan horse of sorts, and you don't even need to wait until that person dies. Imagine jumping inside of a Corona, that Corona dashes into a fight, and you just pop out suddenly, making that would have been a 1v2, now a 2v2. Also, you can use this ability to get out of a tight situation as well. Granted, the radius, as I said before, to hop into another teammate is small, but it could be used in this way in certain situations. One thing I do want to make abundantly clear is that you cannot control the person that you're in, meaning you cannot move them, you cannot aim for them, you cannot shoot their gun for them. The next thing I want to talk about with Aura is that passive that I mentioned earlier that's not really a passive. When you jump into an ally, you view them in a third-person mode, and with good comms, this can actually be used to check corners for your teammate without them exposing themselves. Aura is going to have so many uses and is going to be a must-pick for high-ranked competitive games, but something still seems off. If you noticed early in the video, I said Aura would be available to play on July 24th. However, the current Battle Pass, and by extension the chapter, won't end until late August, around August 21st. So Does this mean that FragPunk is switching up how often we get a new Lancer? Are we going to get 1 new Lancer per month now, meaning 2 per chapter, and 4 new Lancers per season? If so, this is a huge change and would definitely help keep the content flowing. Or, with Aura's abilities seemingly surrounding instruments and sound, and the current event being a music festival, is this just a one-off thing? Or, again, or maybe we'll be getting a chapter 1.5 and a chapter 2.5, because also coming on July 24th is a bunch of new earnable stuff, including what looks to be a new spider skin, along with some more rewards and probably that Nitro Summer skin that they talked about in that developer Q&A. So if you haven't yet, make sure you hop in and give the game a try. It is free to play and you can access it on Steam and console. And if you haven't heard, they buffed the aim assist for controller players on PC, and I've actually been enjoying it so far. So if you're a controller player that's left the game because of this, it's time to come back and give it a second try. But with that being said, what do you think about the new Lancer Aura's abilities, and how are you going to be using her? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.